Hi, my dear learners. Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. This is Sukriti Joshi, and I welcome you to my channel. All right, so this is the most requested video. A lot of students have been messaging me. They have been putting, they're directly messaging me. They're messaging me on Instagram. They're messaging me on Facebook. You know, uh, and after having got so many messages, now I'm thinking that because they have messaged me, I need to prepare this topic, right? I don't teach class 10th. Although I have taught class 10th before, but I am basically a PGT, right? I have my specialization in standard 11th and standard 12th, basically. So, but on your request, for 10th only, I would be covering this topic of direct and indirect speech, right? So now let's begin. What are we waiting for? Let's dive deep into the process of learning. Let's start learning. All right. So direct and indirect speech reporting. Clear? Changing direct speech into indirect speech means reporting the words of the speaker, right, in your own words. So when you're repeating the words of the speaker, suppose you are the speaker and I am repeating those words, right? I am the one who is reporting, who is using the words that have been spoken by you, or I am the speaker and you are using my words, right, which have been said by me. That is what you mean by direct and indirect, right? Changing direct speech into indirect speech. So you change the direct speech into indirect speech. Clear? Means reporting the words of the speaker in your own words. So when you report the words of the speaker in your own words, that's basically what is important for you to remember. Clear? Now, when the words of the speaker are reported in the same way as the speaker had said them, it is called direct speech. So when the words, for instance, if I've spoken certain words, and if you are able to report those words in the same manner in which I wanted to portray, or I wanted you to understand or to comprehend or to analyze, that means it's a direct speech, right? And is done with the help of inverted commas. And then it is done with the help of inverted commas. Clear? The exact words of the speaker are placed within the inverted commas. So the exact words, for instance, I've said something that tomorrow is going to be a holiday. So these have to be in inverted commas, right? This portion of the sentence is called the reported speech. So this when we talk about this remaining, this portion of the sentence is called the reported speech. So this portion is called the reported speech. Now, the remaining part of the sentence, that is words outside the inverted commas, is called the reporting verb, right? You need to understand the difference between reported speech and reporting verbs, right? Right. Clear? So the remaining part of the sentence, that is words outside the inverted commas. So the words, we are not talking about the words placed inside the inverted commas. We are talking about the words placed outside the inverted commas, right? These words, right? Now, the the remaining part of the sentence, that is words outside the inverted commas, is called the reporting verb. That is the reporting verb. Clear? So far, so good? Excellent. Clear. While changing direct speech into indirect speech or vice versa, the following things change. Now, while changing direct speech, keep in mind, into reported speech or vice versa. So when you are changing direct speech into reported speech, or you are changing reported speech into direct speech, the following things you need to keep in mind, right? The following things change, right? Now, what are those things? The first one being reporting verb. We have already spoken about this. Reporting verb. What do you mean by reporting verb? You should be able to tell me. the words that are not included in the inverted commas, right? Those are the reporting verbs. Clear? Pronouns. So these things change. Pronouns. Secondly, pronouns. Third, obviously, we talk about tenses. In grammar, what do we usually talk about? We talk about tenses, we talk about pronouns, we talk about situations, we talk about report using present and future tenses. So report again using the present and future tenses, right? You have to remain in present. You can remember it through that you have to always be present and you have to remain in present in order to succeed in life, right? Clear? So, and modal verbs, then you have modal verbs that change. Clear? Then word order with who, which, what. W, basically WH questions, we call it WH questions, who, which, what, when, where, right? Such questions. Now, changes in reporting verb. Affirmative sentences, statements. For instance, said, told, asserted, replied, assured, informed, responded, whispered, alleged, believed, assumed, thought, interrogative. Now, these were the examples of the affirmative sentences. These were the statements can start like this, right? Said, told, replied, assured, informed, responded, whispered, alleged, believed, assumed, thought, right? Why, when we are talking about interrogative sentences, such as obviously when we talk about interrogation, we talk about questions, right? So we are talking about the question part over here, right? So you ask, you inquire, you want to know about something, right? When we talk about another one is imperative sentences, right? Now this is done in see, when we talk about order, request, or advice, then such words come into picture or place. So order, request, either you order something or you request about something, or you take an advice, right? Or you give an advice, right? So ordered, begged, pleaded, requested, implored, advised, demanded. Now we come on to change of pronouns. Clear? Now Ram said, now for instance, I'm taking an example over here, right? Now let me I'll be okay. You have certain doubt? Okay. You can let me know and then we'll just clarify that. All right. So Ram said, I am a brave boy, right? So Ram said, I am a brave boy. Clear? This is the direct speech. What is it? This is the direct speech. Clear? Now, I am the brave boy. When we have spoken about the direct speech, I am a brave boy was placed in inverted commas, right? It was placed in inverted commas, right? Ram said, I am a brave boy. I am a brave boy. Now, when we talk about indirect speech, right? When we talk about indirect speech, then Ram said that would be added. Earlier, that wasn't mentioned. Now, notice the difference. That has been mentioned. Clear? So, Ram said that he was a brave boy. That he is, there is no usage of I over here, right? There is no usage of I. Why? Because we are reporting the words of some other person and we have to report the same kind of feeling, the same kind of emotion with which that person had uttered those words, those specific words. Clear? So Ram said that he was a brave boy. This is an indirect speech. Herein, you don't have to make use um uh of any exclamation marks, right? Of any what do you call it? Uh, uh, Inverted commas. Yeah. Now, uh, First person I and second person you generally change to third person depending upon reporting verb object, right? So first person and second person, first person would always be I, right? Second person would be you, right? First person I, second person you, right? Third person generally, so you generally change to third person. So first person and second person change to generally they change to third person, right? Depending upon reporting verb object. Depending upon the reporting verb object. What is the RVO? Reporting verb object. Clear? Now we move on to, I would be giving you certain, all right, so we'll be seeing the change of tenses over here. Now direct to indirect, right? So simple present. Under simple present, we have an example of she said, I like to read. She said, I like to read. Again in inverted commas, right? Now in indirect speech, it from simple present, we would be converting it to simple past. She said, again, that would be added, that she liked to read, that she liked to read, right? Liked, because you're changing the tense also, right? We are changing the reporting verb, we are changing the modals, we are changing the tense, right? We just did right now. So you have to change. So that's why we are talking about, she said that she liked to read, right? Simple past. So it was simple present. She said, I like to read. It is simple present, right? Nothing is complicated over here. She said she liked to read. So simple past would be, she said that she liked to read. Clear? Now present continuous, moving on to present continuous, right? I would be taking an example. He said, I'm writing a letter. Present continuous. Now past continuous, we would be converting it to past continuous. Now herein I would like to take an example. He said that he was writing a letter. He said that he was writing a letter, right? Because why? Because we are talking about a continuous activity. He was doing something, right? Present perfect. When we talk about present perfect, she said, I have done my work. She said, I have done my work. Now, when we convert this into past perfect, we will say, she said that she had done her work. Clear? Instead of I, we would apply she, right? Now, when we move to present perfect continuous, we have an example. He said, I have been writing a novel for 2 months. And then we converted it into past perfect continuous. Past perfect, it was present perfect continuous. We converted it into past perfect continuous, right? Now, example would be, he said that he had been writing a novel for 2 months. Now, simple past, Mohan said, I lost my pen. Mohan said, I lost my pen. Past, this was simple past. Now, past perfect would be, Mohan said that he had lost his pen. Clear? Past continuous. When we come on to past continuous, the example being, I said I was playing football. I said I was playing football. Past perfect continuous would be, I said that I had been playing football. I was, when we talk about was, we will be talking about had, right? I had been, because it's a continuous action that we are talking about. Then if the reporting verb is in present or future tense, will says there will be no change in the reported speech. The tense will remain the same. For instance, Ram says, I'm a brave boy. Ram says that he is a brave boy. Ram will say, I like reading. Ram will say that he likes reading, right? So if the reporting verb is in present or future tense, like Ram says, I'm a brave boy, it's in present tense, right? And Ram will say. Again, Ram will say it's in future. I like reading. Ram will say that he likes reading. There will be no change in the reported speech. You need to keep this in mind that if the reporting verb is in present or future tense, there will be no change in the reported speech in the present or future. Forget about the past, right? We say no, we usually tend to make use of this phrase. Forget about the past. Focus on your present and future. Just remember that. By that only you can remember. Clear? Now, changes of situations. Example, Rani said, I read this book last week, right? Now, this is direct. Earlier also when we talked about Ram says, I'm a brave boy, uh, it was a direct one. Then Ram says that he is a brave boy. That was indirect. Then Ram will say, I like reading. Then Ram will say, that was direct, and Ram will say that he likes reading. That was indirect, right? Now, for example, Rani said, I read this book last week. This is direct, right? Rani said that she had read that book the previous week, because for the last week we make use of the previous week, and that we need to add and had read because I read this book last week. We are talking about the past, so had read here. So Rani said that she had read that book the the previous week here. Why previous week? Last week. For last week, we tend to make use of previous week, right? Now, for direct speech and indirect speech, I'll be giving you certain key points that will make your life easier, that will make you remember a lot of things. Now, when we tend to make use of this indirect speech, it turns to that in indirect speech. Clear? Last week, indirect speech tends to be the previous week in indirect speech. Here becomes there in the indirect speech, right? Last week we just did, it tends to become previous week. Clear? Now becomes then. Now becomes then. Now indirect speech becomes then in the indirect one. Clear? Today becomes that day. So when we say today, today tends to become that day in indirect speech. Yesterday tends to become the day before, because we are talking about the day before, obviously, or the previous day, like the previous week, right? Tomorrow tends to become the next day because it would be the next day, right? Or it would be the coming day, or it would be the following day. Clear? Last week tends to become the week before. Clear? So last week so last week, when we talk about last week, it tends to become the week before or the previous week. So the week before or the previous week. Next month tends to become the next month or the coming month or the following month, right? Then we have universal truths, certain universal truths or facts that you cannot change. I mean, you cannot change when the sun rises from the east, right? You cannot change the fact that tomorrow I will write down in the examination, or the examiner will question me that the sun rises from the west. You cannot do that. Sun has always risen in the east, and it will always rise in the east, right? You need to check your facts. The universal truths cannot be maneuvered with, right? Clear? So John said the sun rises in the east. John said that the sun rises in the east. Clear? Direct was John said the sun rises in the east. Indirect, John said that the sun rises in the east. Clear? If the speaker talks about a universal truth, the tense remains unchanged. So if the speaker is, for instance, I am the speaker and I'm talking about And I'm talking about a universal truth, a truth that is proven, right? If I'm talking about a fact that is proven and it is universally, it has universal appeal attached to it, right? And nobody can deny that fact. Now, the tense that has been used in it, if we talk about the past, present, uh, future, these three tenses, and then the categories that follow, it will not change. It will not change. Clear? In case of questions and answers, when we talk about questions and answers now, we have the category of yes and no questions. Clear? Either you say yes to a question or you say no to a question. Either you accept it or you refuse it. Either you accept it or you deny it. Right? So yes, no. Wherever yes or no is there, you have to make use of if or whether. If or whether, not whether. I'm not talking about the atmosphere and the weather or the climate. I'm talking about the weather. If that condition, right? So, for instance, Sukriti asked, "Have you read this book?" Now, for instance, Sukriti asked, "Have you read this book?" Sukriti asked if. You will apply if or whether. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's your choice. What do you want to choose? Right? Sukriti asked if I had read that book. Because have you read the book? If I had read the book. So Sukriti asked. Now, earlier also in the question, it was Sukriti asked, right? We are talking about the questions. So when you are talking about the question, you are asking someone. You are asking something. You're asking about something, right? So Sukriti asked, "Have you read this book?" Sukriti asked whether I had read that book. Whether I had read that book. Whether I had read that book, right? Now, WH questions use the WH word. For instance, Sukriti asked, "Where is the book?" Sukriti asked where the book was, right? So Sukriti asked where. So WH questions use the WH word, right? So Sukriti asked where the book was, right? Different way of asking question, but it's still a question. Sukriti asked where the book was, right? A different way, a different style. So Sukriti asked, "Where's the book?" Sukriti asked where the book was, right? It's the indirect way. Sukriti asked where is the book is the direct way. Sukriti asked, "Have you read this book?" was the direct way. Sukriti asked if I had read the book, because have you read the book? So you will turn into I, right? You're answering. So that would become indirect. Now, in case of modal verbs, when I talk about modal verbs, right? When I'm talking about modal verbs, then we are talking about can, will, shall, may. I'm not talking about the May month. I'm talking about, you can even associate because May month is going on, right? So can, will, shall, may. Can, will, shall, may. Can, will, shall, may. Right? You can remember can becomes could. So can obviously becomes could. Could. Will becomes would, right? Not that would. Will becomes would. Shall becomes should. Shall becomes should. So can becomes could, will becomes would, shall becomes should, and may becomes might. Right? May becomes might. Now, example is, for instance, Sukriti said, "I can lift the box." Sukriti said that I can lift the box. This is direct. Sukriti said that she could lift the box. Sukriti said that she could, she. Instead of I, earlier you was there, now she, that she could lift the box. This is indirect. Now, in case of exclamatory sentences, said is changed into exclaimed. Whenever we talk about the word said, in case of exclamatory sentences, when you're too happy, or too, you are joyful like anything, or you are sad, or you are, you don't feel nice, you don't feel good. So then we tend to make use of exclamatory sentences um in order to make the language even more, uh, in order to dress up the language, right? So said is changed into exclaimed. Said is changed into exclaimed. Add with surprise, sorrow, joy, disgust, etc. if the sentence reflects the mood of the speaker. So add with surprise, sorrow, joy, disgust, etc. if the sentence reflects the mood of the speaker. So whatever emotion is reflecting the mood of the speaker, add that with surprise, sorrow, joy, disgust. You can use any of these words. Join reporting verb and reporting speech with that. Whenever we are talking about reporting verb and reporting speech, you need to join both of these with the word that, right? With the usage of the word that. Change exclamatory tone into normal assertive tone. You need to change the exclamatory tone into a normal assertive tone. Normal assertive tone. Normal assertive, that means firm tone. Clear? Example being, she said, what a horrible mess you have made. Now, because I also don't keep my room so clean, so my parents are in the habit of always complaining that you don't keep your room clean, it's so shabby, it's not, it's very shabby out there, and you should know how to clean and how to keep your stuff in proper order. So they feel disgusted, they feel horrible, they feel that what kind of a mess is she living in, right? She said, so similar is the situation. She said, what a horrible mess you have made. She exclaimed. So you will not say said, right? She exclaimed with disgust. She exclaimed with disgust, right? That he had made a horrible mess, right? So she exclaimed with disgust that he had made a horrible mess. Clear? So far, so good. When we are talking about, she said, what a horrible mess you have made, this is direct speech. And when we are talking about, she exclaimed with disgust that he had made a horrible mess, this is indirect speech, right? Clear? With this, we come to the end of this lecture. And if you still have any doubt, if you still have any doubts, you can let me know. You can DM me. You can personally message me on Instagram, on WhatsApp, on Facebook, right? And you can reach out to me on YouTube as well. You can just put your comments in the comment section of YouTube as well, right? So that it becomes easier for me also, if that I can look at one platform and then I can answer all your queries. And if you want me to cover more such topics, do let me know. Right? Otherwise, I'm a PGT. I don't teach, I don't take 10th. I take 11 and 12 standard. And yes, if any doubts are there for 11th and 12th standard, I'm open to that. Even for 10th, I'm open to you. If you still have any doubt or concerns or queries, do let me know. I'll take all those queries and I will try to resolve them. This is Sukriti Joshi signing off. Bye bye. Let's all grow together. Let's all be happy, happy learning. Let's all discover. And this is Sukriti Joshi. On that note, I would like to take uh, on that note, I would like to take your leave.